And the final notebook is to make some clarification of what is correlation. You might have seen those scatter plots many times, and I will try to explain and to simplify even further with some examples of what is a pair of correlated data, samples data arrays, and what is uncorrelated data. So first you import all the necessary libraries. Then you generate the data. We are already familiar with random number generator, with normal distribution. This is what we prefer for simplicity. And we imagine two variables, two parameters, which are correlated in a natural way. For example, height and weight of individuals. People who are taller, they tend to have larger weight, though you can imagine certain short individuals who are overweight. Everything is possible, but a general trend is like this. The taller is a person, the greater is his body weight. So we generate data 1 and data 2. Data 1 to simulate the height, and the data 2 is to simulate the weight. And we plot the both. So if we look at the variation of the data, we can already identify certain similarity in the variation. For example, here, a point which is very low on weight, and it corresponds to a point which is very low on height. But how to better visualize a similarity in the inter-individual variation, between individual variation of the two parameters? For this, it's useful to use scatterplot. But before, we might try to estimate the correlation coefficient and to see if it is significant or not. So this is absolutely significant and a very high correlation coefficient, positive correlation. Now we do our visualization with a scatter plot and a line trend. What we observe here is that there is a cloud which is diagonally organized with shorter individuals having less weight and higher individuals having greater weight. Now we try to imitate the situation when there is no correlation between two parameters. We imagine something like the amount of cash in the pocket. It can be €2, it can be €5, it can be €10, but it doesn't really depend on the height of the person. Those are totally unrelated, totally independent things. So here in data 3, we don't include any information from data 1 or data 2. Now we calculate the correlation, and the correlation is very small. It is around 0, and the p-value is large, which means the correlation is not significant. And if we look at the scatter plot, we can see that the data points are not organized in a diagonally squeezed cloud, neither in the positive direction nor in the negative direction. It's spherical. And this clearly illustrates the lack of correlation between the two parameters. Thank you for your interest in my micro course. I hope it will be useful. Don't hesitate to ask your questions in the comments. Good luck in mastering coding and statistics.